There was this one ambitious yet lazy boy who kept telling his friends, "One day I'll be rich and successful. You all will see me on TV or on YouTube. Just wait for it." He spent hours and hours imagining how his future would look like, but when it came to actually taking action, he never did. As he grew older, he continued to tell everyone around him about all the things he wanted to achieve in his life, but nothing changed. It was always the same. He would spend hours telling people about everything he wanted to do, but he never took any action. Narration. And this ambitious young man remained poor and unsuccessful. Because ambition without effort is like a car without fuel. It goes nowhere. He didn't like hearing this, but he had to admit that there was some truth to this. Now, despite being lazy and undisciplined, he was a very smart kid. So he managed to get a lot of chances throughout his life, like exams, where he could have studied and gotten a scholarship at a good university. Or there were contests where he could have participated and impressed everyone with his talent. Not to mention, there were countless job offers which he could have used to start earning money and become financially stable. But instead of doing any of that, he wasted his time sleeping late, playing video games, hanging out with his useless friends, blaming others, and making excuses. "I'll start tomorrow," he would say to himself. But tomorrow never came, or if it did, he just made another excuse. So all his dreams stayed inside his head. Nobody even knew about them because he never took any action. He lived a mediocre life and died without ever achieving anything great. Narration. He failed because he never seized the chances that came his way. He failed because he never put in the effort when he had the chance. He failed because he chose to be lazy. After Eddie Aid went to heaven, or so he thought. When he got there, he saw no beautiful women, no fancy cars, mansions, and most surprisingly, no luxury food. It was all very simple. Then he met God and asked him why this wasn't the paradise he had imagined. God replied, "This is my paradise. What's more, this is what you chose while you were alive." Confused, the man asked, "What do you mean?" God said, "When I gave you the choice of what kind of heaven you want, you picked this. Remember when you were alive? You said you wanted a simple life. All the time you spent telling people about your dreams and plans. You never took any action. So now you're experiencing the consequences of your actions, or lack thereof." The man felt ashamed and pleaded, "Oh, God, give me another chance. I promise I won't waste it." God granted him another chance, but this time as a poor boy in a poor family. He hoped that having more difficulties would help him become more ambitious and hardworking. But that wasn't the case. Despite having every reason to be ambitious, this time he chose to remain lazy. "Why should I work hard?" he thought. "Life is too short and ice cream is too delicious to miss out on." However, one day he went out of his house and saw an old classmate of his who had less talent and intelligence than him, yet was more ambitious and hardworking. And much to his surprise, he found out that his classmate was now a successful businessman who owned multiple companies. He couldn't believe it. "How is this possible? He was my classmate. I know how average he was. How did he get so far? Why is he successful and I'm still poor?" Todd. It was then that he decided to find out the secret behind his friend's success. So he went up to him and asked, "Hey, how did you become so successful?" "I can't believe it." His friend replied, "Well, I worked hard for it. I had big dreams, yes, but I also worked hard to achieve them. You don't need luck when you have discipline." Still confused, he said, "But how does discipline help you become successful?" "I have big ambitions, but I don't know how to achieve them." His friend smiled and said, "You're thinking the wrong way. Ambition is not the starting point, it's the end result. Hard work is what gets you there. Do not rely on luck or circumstances. Make things happen." He then went to see an old and wise mentor who had achieved great things in his life. He explained his situation to the mentor and asked him what to do. The mentor listened patiently and then replied, "Your problem is clear. You want to enjoy the results without putting in the work. Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. Whatever you desire, you have to work for it. That is the law of nature. Nothing comes for free." He then told them a story. A farmer had a small farm, and he worked hard to take care of his crops and animals. One day he saw his neighbor's farm was much bigger and more productive than his. So he went over to ask for advice. The neighbor told him, "The secret to my success is that I planted apple seeds years ago. And now they have grown into apple trees and produce so much fruit that I can sell them in the market and make money." The first farmer thought for a moment and said, "I want to do the same, but I don't see any trees on my farm. How am I going to make money?" The neighbor said, "You are right. It will take years before your trees bear fruit. But you have to plant the seeds first if you want to harvest the fruit later. If you don't plant the seeds, you'll never have an apple tree, let alone its fruit." The mentor then said to him, "The same is true for whatever you want to achieve in life. First, you have to plant the seeds by putting in the hard work. Only then will you reap the benefits. Don't expect to get something for nothing. The only way to succeed is to work hard." With that, he understood that ambition is not the key to success. It's just a seed from which success can grow. Hard work is the water that helps the seed grow. Without it, the seed will never grow. He apologized to the mentor for wasting his time and ran home determined to change his ways. That day itself, he started to wake up early, work hard, and take small yet consistent steps towards his goals. Narration. Slowly but surely, he started to see progress. He became healthier, wealthier, and happier than he had ever been before. He learned that no matter how big his dream is, it can only come true with discipline and hard work. Laziness is the only enemy he had to defeat. He then looked up at the sky and said, "Thank you, God, for giving me another chance. I promise I won't waste it." And so that's how he turned his life around and achieved everything he had dreamed of. We hope you enjoyed this story. Please share this video with your friends and family, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, before we wrap up today's lesson, we want to leave you with an important message. Dreaming big is not enough. It's our ambition that drives us to push our limits. But it's our action that brings those dreams to reality. Don't just sit back and let life happen to you. Be proactive. Take charge of your own destiny, and let your ambition guide your actions. Remember, ambition plus discipline equals success. Now, go out there and make your dreams come true.